when people come, Toby, to an event, the majority of those people, whether they're conscious of it or not, their brains and bodies are in the past.
Yes.
They live by certain familiar emotions, and certain thoughts that are connected to certain emotions condition their body to feel a certain way. Like you think about your I don't know, as an example, you think about your financial problems as an example, and people feel lack. Other people think about their ex and they feel resentment. Other people think about their new career and they feel fear. So they're combining a thought and a feeling, and when you have a thought in the form of a symbol and combined with a feeling, the conditioning process starts. So you keep thinking the same way, you keep making the same choices, you keep doing the same things, you keep creating the same experiences, you keep producing the same emotions. For the most part, your brain and body are in the past. So then the first couple days of an event are week-long events, and we've got thousands and thousands of brain scans, thousands and thousands of heart rate readings.
How do we know it? We measure it.
We measure everything. We have it all. And we now know that there is a formula that if you follow the formula, then you are going to slowly overcome yourself. So how do we overcome ourselves? Well, you got to take your attention off your body, which is where most people's attention are. You got to take your attention off the people in your life. The stronger the emotion that you have associated with some person, good or bad, the more you pay attention to them. So you got to take your attention off those people. You got to take your attention off your cell phone, your computer, the things you own, the place you sit, the place where you live, the place you work. And you got to get beyond time, thinking about the future or the familiar past. And that's what we call getting beyond the self. So we give people numerous opportunities to get beyond their past, present reality and their personality that's connected to the past. And we work with having them find the sweet spot of that present moment. Now, once they hit that sweet spot of the present moment, Toby, that's, according to the quantum model, where all possibilities exist. So when you're not your body, you're not the people in your life, the things you own, the place you live, the place you work, or time itself, you take away all those things. The only thing you're left with is consciousness. You're an awareness. So you reached an elegant moment where you dissociated from your identity. And in 1 second, you were in a field of possibilities, and your brain downloaded a probable future, and the vision was so real, and it had a strong electrical signal that went along with it, and you could not pay attention to it. So the stronger you felt that signal, the more you were seeing that future, and all of a sudden your brain and body move out of your past present reality, and in that moment you're living in the future in the present moment, and you're rewiring your brain, and you're sending a new electrochemical signature to your body, and your body is believing it's living in that future. You're changing your gene expression, you're changing your protein expression, you're changing the way your brain thinks, the way it feels, and all of a sudden, you know what your future looks like. Now, we want everybody to have that experience, because you could be sick, you could be overweight, you could be vegetarian, you could be white, you could be black, you could be Asian, you could be rich, you could be poor, you could never have meditated before. In fact, our research shows people like you that never meditated before are
the virgins.
You're not trying to make anything happen. You're just curious to see what's going to happen, and that's the beauty behind that. So you had a moment where you downloaded information from the field and you saw future, and you now know that that's your future. This is relatively new technology. What we're doing is we're piercing a veneer. It's like the 4-minute mile. Once the 4-minute mile was broken by one person, then all of a sudden everybody started doing it. So we're breaking this consciousness, this level of consciousness that we need something outside of us to change how we feel inside of us. And we're teaching people how to self-regulate without anything outside of them. So we are working, we do seminars for children. We do seminars for companies and organizations. We do seminars for athletes, and all of it is the same, but we're just teaching it with a little different slant to fit into child's development. To fit in with a sports athlete, but we're at a point now where the technology is reproducible, and that's what I care about the most, because anything that's reproducible, if you follow that formula, is science, and we now know that it's working. So now we got a lot of momentum, and people are breaking through, and I want to say something about certain people that didn't have the experience. They probably had it the next day, or the next day, or when they got home and they fell asleep on the couch. It always comes because we're always creating reality. In this three-dimensional reality that's made of matter, the world of materialism that we define with our senses, we experience separation. There's you there and there's me here. And there's space between us. And there's space between us, there's time between us. And so then that people have their sense of self, and then they have a sense of their vision, their dream. And where do we create our dream? Way out there.
Right.
So then we're separate from our dream. Our brain automatically creates a future. So we have to go get that future, right? So then people spend the majority of their lives living in lack, waiting for the event to happen to take away their emptiness or their lack. That's Newtonian physics. That's cause and effect. Waiting for something out there to make this feeling go away. And if you're living by the feeling of lack, you're creating more lack because that feeling is driving certain thoughts. So what we teach people to do is how to open this beautiful center called your heart. Because when you start elevating your emotional state, and you can really make this a practice, your body begins to emit a very coherent magnetic field that's up to 3 meters wide. And now that's an energy, and that energy is a frequency, and that frequency can carry information. It can carry the thought of your health. It can carry the thought of your wealth. Suffering can't carry the thought of your wealth. It just doesn't align with the frequency. Right. So then teaching people how to make that a habit and broadcast that signature while their eyes are open, while they're in a business meeting, while they're in traffic, while they're waiting at the bank, while they're brushing their teeth. It's just a natural energy that they wear. Then it starts becoming very common. Yeah. So that if you're feeling the emotion of gratitude that's connected to your future before it's happened, then you're not looking for it any longer because you feel like it's already happened. So now that then begins to create the magic. We have been practicing for almost 10 years now, teaching our students how to sustain heart coherence and brain coherence, but they've been doing it in a room with 1,000 other people or 1,500 people, and there's music, and everybody's safe, and there's lights, and they close their eyes, and they can focus inward. But now that we know that they can do that, why not challenge them? Put them in a situation that could evoke a survival or stress emotion, or activate a program where they go unconscious. And in that moment, when it counts the most, instead of them forgetting everything they've learned, going into an automatic program and not paying attention and feeling fear or whatever, to stop, and instead of surrender to fear in that moment, learn how to surrender to love and begin to settle down the body, to begin to practice the formula now with your eyes open when your legs are shaking or you're feeling a little bit of loss of control, and be able to self-regulate then. Now, what's the significance of that? Well, whether you're 80 years old or you're 21 years old, when you walk out into your life and you face similar circumstances that produce emotions like that, you're not going to go unconscious and run a program. You're going to stop and say, let me practice with my eyes open everything I learned all along. And now, so you're able to self-regulate and fear becomes less of an issue. By the same means, if you're way up on a post and you just overcame that obstacle, when you return to your life, you're gonna at 82, you're going to return back into your life and you're just going to say, this is nothing. This condition in my life is nothing compared to what I just did. And so we don't use age as an excuse in this work, because too many people say, I'm too old to do this. Well, those ladies participate and they don't have the thought, I'm too old. Now, that means then that they're always growing and changing. And there's so much great research, Tobias, on the fact that when people are always stimulated and they're always learning, that their experiences then really keep them genetically youthful. So this work is not about keeping people from going to doctors.
No, of course not.
But if they're that healthy, then they have the right attitude and they understand it. So they're adding years to their lives. How do we know that? Because we've measured that too, that you can lengthen your life by just doing this work, because we have research to show that our students lengthen their telomeres and determine your biological age.
I'm sure you enjoyed this beautiful speech by Joe Dispenza, and you'll try to find the present moment in your life and create wonderful things. We are back with Complete the Quote challenge. Can you complete the quote and give us the right answer? All you need to do is to complete the quote or statement that we choose, and if you can do it first, you're the daily winner. Your job is to write the correct answer in the comments below the video, or your guess if you're not sure. In the previous video we were looking for 2 words, and the quote belongs to Dr. Joe Dispenza. The quote goes like this: most people wait for crisis or trauma before they make up their mind to change. My message is, and the correct answer is, why wait? So, most people wait for crisis or trauma before they make up their mind to change. My message is, why wait? Congratulations to everyone with the correct answer. Today we are looking for 2 words, and the quote belongs to Dr. Joe Dispenza also. The quote goes like this: if we can hold on to an idea, we begin to wire and shape. Write your answers in the comments below the video. And if you like this video, give your thumbs up and share it with your friends. Did you understand what Joe Dispenza said? Tell me everything in the comment section. If you don't want to miss my new videos and challenges, subscribe and hit that bell button and you'll be noted when my new video is published. Help me make this video popular by sharing it. If you really like what we do here and want to support us, you can join our channel and our community for a symbolic fee and gain many other additional features. You can do that by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button, or you can click on the link in the description of this video. Stay good and have a great day!